Hello all, welcome to another session in this course. As part of this session, I'm going to cover the next topic, that is enumerating or accessing object-specific properties using hasOwnProperty method. Okay, so what I'm going to say here is I'm going to enumerate the properties of an object. Okay, using hasOwn. Okay, hasOwnProperty method. There is a method known as hasOwnProperty method, using which, okay, this particular method I already covered here, guys. Okay, if you remember, okay, in one of the previous sessions, using hasOwnProperty method in JavaScript I already covered. But here what I'm saying is I'm going to demonstrate how to access the properties of an object using hasOwn, okay, property method, where this method will help us in ignoring the, okay, this method will help us in ignoring the inherited properties from another object. For example, this particular object from where we are enumerating the properties, this particular object will have its own properties, and also this particular object may have inherited some properties from another object. So in that case, I want to access the properties of only this particular object by ignoring the inherited properties. Then I have to use hasOwnProperty method. Okay, so let me demonstrate so that it will be clear for you. For that, I'll just launch Visual Studio Code. And here in this Visual Studio Code, I'm going to create a new thing. I'll say hasOwn.js. I'll say already is there, actually hasOwn prop, okay, .js. I'll say just here, let me create an object first. Guys. Let user is equal to, like this, let me create an object. Here I'll say name colon, I'll give my name. Okay, so using this particular object, I'm going to create another object. Okay, by using the I'm going to create a replica of this particular object by using object dot create method. Okay, and here I'll pass user here. Okay, I already covered how to use object.create in one of the previous session. Okay, so if you have not watched, just go there, watch, and come back here. Okay, so object.create user, and this will create a new user using an existing this will create a new object using an existing object by creating a replica of an existing object. Okay, so here I'll simply say let person is equal to, so when I say let person, this person object will be created, and this person object is a replica of the user object, where this name property from the user object has been inherited inside this person object. Okay, in this person object, the name property has been inherited. Now to this person object, I will add one more property, object specific property for the person, that is, I'll just give experience. Okay, person dot experience is equal to 19 if I give. So this property belongs to the person, but name property is not directly belonging to the person. It is actually getting inherited from the user object to the person object. But person dot experience belongs to the person object, right? Now I'll give person dot location is equal to, I'll just give the location as Hyderabad. Okay, like this. These two properties are specific to the person object, whereas name property also belongs to the person, but it is not directly specific to this. It is actually inherited from the user object to the person object. Now, if I use for in loop like this, for let key in, let key in person, if I directly write like this, let key in person, and here I'll write console.log, if I write key comma person of key, if I write like this, what will be printed? All these three properties will be printed. Name property with its value, experience property with its value, location with its value, like Hyderabad, everything will be printed. Okay, let's run this code and see what is happening. Let's go to the terminal, new terminal, and here write down node space has own prop dot js, enter. You see, experience came, location came, and also name also came. The inherited property is also coming when I am enumerating or accessing using the for in loop, if I'm trying to access all the properties of this person, along with the person object specific properties, I also got enumerated, that is inherited name property also. But what if I want only the person specific properties? I don't want to get this inherited property of the user into the person. Okay. If I don't want to get, here I'll write a condition. Okay, if I'll write this code, guys. Okay. I'll be writing this code that is has own property. Okay. If person dot has, what is that, guys? Okay. If uh, there is a way, just give me a second, guys. I'll just show you how you have to do this. Let me open this notes for reference and then I'll show you how to use that here in this case of example. Here, object. Object is nothing but the person, right? If person, the same thing, whatever I have written. Dot has own property. Okay. If person dot has own property, then print this. Otherwise, don't. Okay. So what happens here is, if person dot has own property means for each and every key. Okay. If person dot has own property, so, and then here I have to mention the key. Okay. Here I have to mention the key. Person dot has own property of key. If this key is specific to the person or not, based on that some condition will be checked, and if it is true, then only the key and person will be printed. So in this case, if I go to this terminal and run it again, if I clear this and run it again, this time you'll get only two properties, which belong to the person object, not the property which is inherited from the user object to the person object. Okay, person specific properties are only coming here. Name property is not coming. Okay, guys, clear? Enumerating object specific properties using hasOwnProperty method. So that's all for this session. See you in the next session. Thank you. Bye bye.